what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 99. Calling this one KISSmas Masquerade with Phil Shouse and Neil Davis. Tom, how the hell are you?
This episode is the Wayne Gretzky of Shout It Out Loudcast. It's the great one. 99, baby.
Yep. It's pretty damn good. I don't know if it's the great one, but it's pretty good. We've already taped interview with the guys. I thought it was pretty good.
Yep.
And we'll get into that, but there was a lot going on. We're taping on Tuesday before Thanksgiving for this episode to drop Saturday at midnight. So, Tom, what did we do last week?
Well, before we just talk about what we did last week, let's wish everybody, hopefully they had a nice Thanksgiving, because by the time you listen to this, your Thanksgiving will have been over. So hopefully you guys had a enjoyable and safe holiday. So that being said, last week we did our Kissgiving episode with our buddy Murph. That was a lot of fun. We went on a couple of rants at the beginning of the episode before we got to our Thanksgiving Kissgiving lists. But we had a good time as always. So the poll was that we were thankful for all of our fans for who love the show, who follow the show, etc. And then we kind of had some fun with this poll, and we asked you guys, what other parts of the show are you thankful for? And your options were the Pandemic Paul rants, the Gene and Ace impersonations, the Jerky Boys and pop culture references, or our college stories. So, as Zeus stated, we're recording a little bit earlier than normal because of the holiday week. Our plans are busy this week. So, the poll is still active right now. But right now, the Pandemic Paul ranting is out ahead at 38%. It's a pretty tight poll, which is good. It means you guys kind of like a bunch of different things that we do on the show.
Yeah, I found that at different points in time when I looked into the poll, different things in the beginning were leading.
Yeah.
So it fluctuated a lot.
Yep.
Any comments that you got there on the poll?
Yes. Eladio, I love all the college stories. Please keep this coming. However, I gave Pandemic Paul a slight edge. All right. Chris Vickery said, I got to go with Gene Simmons from Kiss. And then our buddy Jack Broad, Jerky Boys references Liver Lips. And then Sterlino, this wasn't even an option. He says Boston sports news style reports on Kiss at the start of the episode. 617.
Talk about the retractable roof at Tiger Stadium during the Kiss's concert there, right?
Or bitch about opening day in April when it's snowing. Yeah. Baseball season starts too soon, folks. Call us now. What do you think of that?
And fans dodging debris when they're at a Kiss concert.
Our buddy Lance, I love the college stories because most of them are similar to mine, watching the Kiss VHS and arguing with friends over the band. Deuce, I'm voting Pandemic Paul with a write-in vote for the Adventures of Zeus's Gas. Our buddy Steve, there should be an all of the above option, but I had to go to Pandemic Paul in the end. Niall Savage, Pandemic Paul is the winner for me, although This Is Gene Simmons from Kiss is a classic too. But I want to start a campaign to bring back the Jack Pinocchio theme. It made me laugh every single time. Jack, I got your back, buddy. Bring back Pinocchio's theme. Episode specific feedback from Twitter. Our buddy Deuce again had a nice comment. He said, props to Murph on the Bryan Adams question. Tom, great answer. Zeus, even better. Straight from the heart with Peter Criss on vocals would be killer. Sorry, Murph. Shandy is still a steaming pile of garbage.
Yes.
Yeah. Some people made some funny comments about their names being mentioned or their names not being mentioned.
Yeah. We heard from a few of those, so we apologize in advance. I'm telling you, it was like a list that I was jotting down as Tom was reading his stuff. So it wasn't like I had a list like, oh, these are our best or these are our favorite.
Yeah.
It just, I had a brain lapse there. So I apologize if you didn't get mentioned.
Yep. And then Uncle Paulie had a good one. He said, I'm thankful for you two giving us a great podcast each and every week, especially in such a chaotic year. Thanks for all of your hard work, the laughs, and awesome topics each week. Your podcast is much appreciated in these difficult days. And then he ends it with 617-422-0850. You're on with. Oh, that never gets old. Our buddy Graham, a perfect positive episode. Wow, we must have skipped through the first hour of it. Having Murph is always fantastic. He adds that slightly left of center viewpoint. Dare I say he is the ace to your Gene and Paul? Whoa. I don't know about that. Yikes. You there, Zeus?
617. What do you want me to say? You're reading. I'm listening. Okay.
I couldn't hear anything. I didn't know. You were silent. You're never this quiet for this long. Zandon Black, our buddy, appreciate the mention. I'm thankful for you guys taking the time to put this show together every week. Our buddy Tom Dust. So in the description of the episode, I said, we welcome our good buddy Murph. Tom Dust said, good buddy Murph. It's the Goodfellas style nickname for Murph. Always a great guest host. That was very cool.
I agree.
Twisted Kister says, I'm listening now. I'm currently at the Chick-fil-A drive-thru window, and I forgot to turn the volume down. I'm pretty sure somebody overheard Piss Inferno. I'm picturing that. Oh, God. Joel Hoffman. Excellent show, guys. I love the heartfelt words. I work night shift. I genuinely look forward to every episode, no matter the content or the bonus album, even if I don't like the band. I listen to you for the laughs and fun. Look forward to the next year. Have a great Thanksgiving, guys. Joel, thank you very much. You as well. Hopefully by the time you heard this, hopefully you did have a good Thanksgiving. Thank you, buddy. And what else do we got here? Oh, this was great. I was waiting for somebody to do this, and our buddy Tony from Restrained didn't let us down. He said, I'm glad this was an episode focused on being thankful, because I'm 45 minutes in, and all you've done for the past 30 minutes is complain about Pandemic Paul. By the way, I'm thankful that you do. It's fun to hear you get so worked up. DG from Tennessee, great show as always. Thankful I found the show this year. Always a highlight of my Saturday. Thank you. JR, he says, I enjoyed the live stream last night. I'll be listening to this later today. You guys never disappoint in entertainment. We'll talk about the live stream. JR, thank you so much. Stickman, love the episode. Appreciate the time and effort you put into the show for us. Have a great Thanksgiving, guys. Those kinds of comments are just what make Zeus and I just so happy, and what makes the show that much worth it, that you guys are into it and you enjoy everything that we do. So thank you for all of that feedback, and thank you for everything in general.
Yeah, that was great. And then we also had some Facebook comments.
Yep.
History Science Theater, the guys at KSD, put in the image of Johnny Dangerously.
Oh, yes.
Right. Johnny gets us in the feels. Come on, boys. Commentary. Do it.
Oh, my God. Imagine that. I would love that. Oh.
Yeah. Scott Donaldson. Another great episode, guys. Here is my list of Kiss Shout It Out Loudcast related things I'm thankful for.
Oh, boy.
Number 5, Kiss Jeopardy episodes. Number 4, your banter and fan-themed intros, like Joey Casada and Jack Panacchio.
Oh, my God.
Always make me laugh. Oh, fuck. I may have to go back to them.
See?
Number 3, Bruce Kulick, keeping us entertaining, keeping our love of the 80s Kiss alive. Number 2, album review episodes.
Yes.
Love the Paul Stanley - Asylum reviews. Didn't enjoy the Monster review as much as I like that album.
Okay.
Number 1, hands down, the Carrie Stevens interview was the best episode this year. Love the interaction between you guys and the cool Eric Carr stories. Unfortunately, she exposed 2020 Pandemic Paul as a fancy boy, which saddens me. Still love the Star Child, though.
Wow.
Fancy boy.
Fancy boy.
Yeah. Carrie replies to him.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. I'm always so surprised when people enjoy hearing me be myself, because I'm just me. Things fly out of my mouth. Thank God I'm well received. I love the sense of humor in the group. Thanks for, quotes, getting me.
Nice.
And then there's just more Carrie and Scott going on for a bit.
Yep.
Darren Hunt. I'm thankful for that you guys are like Metamucil regular. I only listen to 3 podcasts full time. One is super spotty. They started weekly. Now it's maybe one a month. It's great you guys take the time to get us a new episode every week. Sometimes throw in a bonus episode. That doesn't go unnoticed.
Wow.
You guys rock.
Wow. Thank you, Darren. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Then, in addition, Jack Pinocchio wrote on our Shout It Out Loudcasters page.
Mm-hmm.
Just heard your Kiss giving episode. I am thankful I came across your podcast this year. In the pandemic year, it was one of the best things I came across to help me get through it. I guess meeting my partner, too, comes close, I guess. Jesus.
Okay. Hey, whatever it takes, buddy.
She goes, all right. But honestly, guys, it's been a great year. Thank you for all the pure 110% entertainment. We don't do Thanksgiving here in Australia, so I hope this counts.
It counts, Jack. Thank you very much, buddy.
Yeah, and Jack is just a great guy. And, of course, we have to read Kevin Jepson's.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Fuck yeah. I got another porn review.
Oh, God.
Pissing Inferno. All capitalized. OMG. I laughed so fucking hard. Here's my list. 5. Thankful for Kiss being alive. All original still, which is unbelievable. Yeah, I picked that last year. I did that one.
Yep.
4. Non-toxic Kiss community. All great people.
Yep.
3. Kiss live stream New Year's Eve. I can't wait. 2. You fuckos.
Oh, God.
For all the laughs, porn reviews, pandemic Paul character, so much laughter and enjoyment. Hopefully can meet in person soon. Number
Absolutely.
1.
Yep.
Which was Murph's. Kiss Alive. Without that, I never would have found Kiss. Greatest album of all time. Thanks, men.
Thank you, Kevin, man. You're the best. We love you, buddy.
We all love Kevin.
Yep. Absolutely.
Great. And yeah, make sure you throw out some new porn suggestions for us next time you write back to us, brother.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Maybe in 2021, the bonus episodes will become that every month. We'll do a movie every month. How about that?
How about bonus points for the first listener that ever digs up 80s classic Pissing Inferno?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're fat, ugly German people. No offense to anybody who's German. These are fat, ugly, specific people fucking in a manufacturing plant.
Well,
and then end up pissing all over each other.
Oh, God almighty. What is wrong with you? Stop talking about that. Before we move on, speaking of, since we'll stay on the porn train here, because we got a comment from Michael Farrow. This is hilarious. He says, guys, I've been checking out Chameleon.
Oh
No, this is great. Since you keep mentioning it, I am on, this is great. He's actually breaking this down. I am on scene 3, which is Peter North's first scene. So far, nothing out of the ordinary. Which 2 scenes are the ones that people are so shocked by? By the way, my favorite is in the 90s was Alicia Rio. Remember her? Dude,
all right.
He's breaking down Chameleon like it's a Super Bowl highlight film.
First of all, we only really talked about one scene.
Right.
And it's when poor Tom Byron is sitting like a buffoon in the dining room. And then all of a sudden, Tori Wells opens up like the coat check area or something.
Yeah.
And Victoria Paris is like going down on Peter North.
Yep.
And then she says a comment, and I don't quote me.
Oh, I know it.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Say it.
What a nice cock.
What a nice car. And then she just jumps in. That whole scene between that threesome there, that's the one scene we've only talked about. We really haven't gone into the rest of the movie. That scene in and of itself is the greatest porn scene of my college life.
You put that up there. I mean, there are some great movies in history. You get The Godfather and Citizen Kane. You get Chameleon.
Yes. The flash fucking fire hose scene at the end when poor Tori Wells and Victoria Paris get double retina detachments from the fucking liquid white fucking volcano-like fucking spewness that comes out of his fucking schlong.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. It's just, I don't know, Oscar worthy. You guys will see it. And please, if you want to hear more about it or tell us more about your viewing pleasure, feel free to write to us. Thank you. And it just also, we had a couple things. I'm not sure, Tom, if you were able to get to them. And those were basically on Twitter, there were a couple retweets there.
Okay.
That were one was from Steve. This one is Steve Warsap.
Okay.
Thank you, Shout Out Loudcast. This has been a crazy, crazy year. But you have brightened it up with the best subjects about the best band on the best podcast. Great guests. The perfect blend of facts, laughs, and the occasional bit of sense with impressions, arguments, and unsavory tales.
Nice.
Todd Herrig. Another fine episode, gents. Always good to hear from Murph and to be included in the list of non-toxic Kiss fans made my day.
Yep.
Very thankful, you guys, as a week isn't complete without a chat with Tom and Zeus. Now on to hear what you've got to say about Kip.
Yeah. Winger baby.
Bonus episode. So that's the feedback we got. Again, I like to say that those that we didn't mention your names, believe me, it's not forgotten. It was just one of those things that was random.
Right.
When Tom started going off, I didn't know his list. And so we apologize for those who didn't, but we do appreciate each and every one of you.
Absolutely.
For getting involved with the show.
Yep.
It makes it better. So we appreciate that. Please keep the feedback coming. It's a service to not only the podcast, but to the rest of the listeners to have interaction and to keep the dialogue going. Even when the episode's ended, the posts about the episode keep the conversation moving. So we really, really appreciate that. So thank you for that. So that was the previous episode. We got a lot of stuff in Kiss news, and we got a great interview to get to. So let's keep this one moving there, Tom.
Yep.
One of the things we did is we did a live cast, which some of you guys caught and commented there. We're not going to get into that in big deal because obviously just watch the live cast. You can find it on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That one you'll see the visual, or you can find it on our page, Shout Out Loudcasters page, and you can hear the whole 2-hour conversation. It was us two. It was Baco from Cobras and Fire, and of course, our Shout It Out Loudcast bonus crew member, Sonny Pooney. And we were discussing what we talked about last week, which was what was the big surprise going to come? And it's now Kiss 2020 Goodbye. That's the streaming concert that Kiss is doing in Dubai on New Year's Eve. What'd you think of the live stream, the live cast that we did there, Tom? And any comments about that?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good discussion. For the people that may have missed that live stream on Friday night, as Zeus mentioned, it's now in audio podcast form and available on YouTube as well. So if you subscribe to us, you'll see that, and I urge you to check it out. We had a great time, lot of laughs as usual, but we broke it down, the announcement down as in the way that you would expect from Shout Out Loudcast. Very honest, frank. A lot of good things to say about it, a lot of not so good things to say about it. And that's how we are on this show. And we've talked about this before. You know, we're not negative for the sake of negativity or to stand out or troll Kiss fans. It's just how we are. We're lifelong fans. So we've said it a million times. Not every single thing that they do is going to be met with just full blown perfect 10 round of applause. And if that's how you are as a Kiss fan, that's fine. We've said this many times. That's fine. We don't fault you for that. That's just not how we are. We like to break things down. Some people accuse us maybe of overanalyzing. Again, that's what we do. But I thought it was a great discussion, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and a lot of great points by all four of us. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I will have to say though, God damn it, Baco is one negative fuck.
You think we're negative? Check out him. I'm wondering if he even really likes Kiss.
You know, it's just a one thing, you know, I don't know what's worse. The fact that he's got the actual, I don't know what the word is, integrity to say like, you know what? I don't want a new Kiss album. You know what? I'm not going to subscribe to it, and I love Kiss. I don't know if that's worse or us bitching about it and then fucking subscribing to it. Us bitching about the last couple albums and then wanting them to do another album. Yep. I don't know. Everybody's different. That's why we wanted him on. I think he adds a great amount of fucking humor to the show. I think he's got a very unique style of analyzing Kiss stuff. And I think he was an awesome addition. And then, of course, we have our buddy Sonny. Yep. And nobody's quite like Sonny. And I thought the four of us had a blast. And it was just a lot of fun with four guys that can keep the humor and think on their feet as good as anybody. So
yeah. And there are certain topics that kind of, you know, require that kind of, you know, emergency live stream. We did it back in, I believe it was May, when Bob Kulick passed away, rest in peace. You know, that was huge news. And then with the Kiss announcement, you know, and that's the good thing about having this live stream, you know, quick setup, get it out on social media, let you guys know that we're doing it. If by chance you miss it because of the short notice, we can convert it into an audio podcast form, and then you can be part of the show as well. So anytime there's big breaking news, it's you know, it's kind of like when you're in the old days when you're watching TV and all of a sudden your TV gets interrupted by breaking news. Tom and Zeus, breaking news. That's us.
Yeah, and I told Tom like that the people that I wanted, the first thing I thought of was Sonny and Baco. Yeah, I thought it would work perfect, and it did. It was a ton of fun. And by the way, Tom, you're a fucking mutt, but that's okay.
Yeah, that was perfect. Oh, I love that. That was great. That was my favorite part of the whole thing. And if you don't know what we're talking about, listen to the show.
Okay. Search for it.
Yeah, search for it. That was so great. I haven't called anybody a mutt in a while, and that just came so naturally.
Right. That's all right. You're a cocksucker, but that's okay.
Oh, come on. Be nice. Be nice. Oh, fuck.
Anyway, then obviously so that's the story, the big story of last week. We hinted at what he thought it was going to be last week. And then obviously we had a whole episode on it. So we're not going to get into a big deal about it.
Right.
So the other big thing that happened, and that was, it was actually today as we were recording, is I believe the 29th episode. Am I correct? 29th, excuse me. It was the 29th anniversary of Eric Carr's passing.
Correct. Yep. That was today, November 24th. Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see, you know, the unbelievable tributes and outpouring. We posted a bunch of things on Twitter and Facebook. A lot of people. I mean, the love and the outpouring of support for Eric Carr. The fans just absolutely love him. Such a beloved drummer, person. Just, you know, a member of our favorite band, and it was just so nice to see that all over social media, pretty much all day. It hasn't ended, and it was just really nice to see.
Wonderful tributes. Gene posted, put a real sad face on it. Obviously, Carrie Stevens had loving tributes all day long about it. The other one was Bruce, a heartfelt tribute to him, and then Paul did it finally gave us what we've been asking for him to do. And he showed the side of him that I've seen before that he's displayed. And let's just read his comment. His comment was, Eric was a major force, both musically and spiritually while in KISS. His battle with cancer seemed all the more cruel because of his kindness, and he's never speaking badly of anyone. A gentle soul, and I honor him on this day. He left his friends, fans, and family 29 years ago today. Bravo, Paul. Bravo. Yeah. And so we posted something, Tom.
Yeah.
Just wow. Thank you, Paul. And, wouldn't you know, there was one person that didn't get that we were actually praising Paul. Somebody named Under the Radar. Don't know who that is. I don't know if he's interacted with us before. Nothing he can do will make you guys happy. I knew I would see comments like these.
Yep.
And don't say I love everything he does. I just don't have to judge him on everything negatively. Look in the mirror. Tom, do you look in the mirror sometimes?
With a face like this, how can't I? I look in the mirror all the time.
What do I see? 3 motherfucking punk police staring at me. Anyways, I look in the mirror sometimes. And hey, fuck balls. We were praising Paul for saying that. So that's not negativity. Your comment is the negativity. You, my friend, are the one that was searching for something that was not there.
Correct.
So I would say you are part of what is now deemed the cancel culture. Look at him. Look at them. They're bad people. They're saying things. They're worse than us. I'm so woke. Shut the fuck up. And you know what? You're wrong. So apology will be accepted in any form, a direct message on Twitter or to us or publicly, whatever you'd like to do. But to come out and say that nothing will make you guys, he can do to make you guys happy, fuck you. You've never fucking listened to us and heard us praise Paul for being the musical genius that he is. I've said it countless times on this show. If my life depended on it and I needed one musician to write something that I would be like, I like that, I would pick Paul Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to fucking hear that. So when my hero and one of my favorite musicians of all time goes off and stops doing what we want him to do and acts unlike himself the past 45 years to 50 years he's been in this band, I'm going to fucking bitch about it. And I have a platform to bitch about it. If you want to agree with me, agree with me. If you don't, then don't. But don't tell me things that are not true, like that nothing he does will ever please us and that only negative on Paul. Give me a fucking break. And you know what? Go fuck yourself while you're at it. But other than that, I hope you have an awesome, safe Thanksgiving. You and your family are safe. And I wish you well for the rest of the holidays. And I hope you have a better and more pleasant 2021, Mr. Under the Radar. Thank you. Tom, over to you.
No, that's well said. As far as the apology is, I don't need a fucking apology.
No,
that doesn't bother me.
I know. I'm joking with all this shit.
I know you are. But again, this is what we do. When somebody deserves praise, we're going to give it to him. And Paul Stanley 100% deserves praise here. His phrasing, his wording, it was heartfelt. He meant it. It's the Paul Stanley that we love. This is what we talk about. This is not the pedantic Paul Stanley. Maybe that's a new character we can create too.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Paul Stanley that we know and love. The guy who has a way with words, who can be heartfelt and emotional and say things that he knows fans want to hear. And that message that Zeus just read, Paul's tribute to Eric, that deserves praise. And
it's not phony.
It's not phony.
It's not just a blank statement.
No,
it's not phony.
It's specific.
Because obviously it was a little bit of a difficult time for him and Eric towards the end. He's not being phony about it.
No.
He's not saying Eric was my dearest friend. And he's saying what everybody knows of Eric are facts. And the people, like, he can't say like anything negative because everyone knows how awesome that Eric was, his personality. He's everyone's favorite person in the band, him and Bruce. So of course he's got to mention that. And he's given that to the fans, saying, his kindness. Nobody ever spoke badly about him. And the cruelty of cancer.
Yep.
And the fact that he left all his fans and his family, that it's terrible. And he's honoring him. So those are words in his post. That is about as well written a tweet as Paul could have done.
Agreed.
Perfect.
Yep.
And he deserves praise when he does shit like that.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, yeah.
And Bruce, you said Bruce had some heartfelt words. Now, it was interesting because we were looking for something from maybe some of the other guys. Ace is active. But it was interesting because searching for Ace hasn't tweeted since November 13th. So APB out on Ace Frehley. Anybody know if he's
check?
Yeah, wellness check. Anybody know if he's alive? He has not tweeted as of right now, since November 13th.
What did I do last night? Who was I with? Did I hit anybody over the head with a chair?
He's got that hot new girlfriend, and he's probably like, holy fucking shit, this fucking chick is hot. I'm not leaving the fucking sack.
Probably. Now on a lighter note,
got any extra batteries for me? I need some.
Now, on a lighter note, let's get back to Paul Stanley for a minute, because during a little bit right around when we started recording, it's perfect timing. I love when this happens. Paul Stanley tweeted out, this actually made me laugh. It's a picture of his bicycle, but it's actually a picture of his bicycle seat. And it's like, it got like sliced in half. And the tweet says, always read and follow directions. This is just a little of what happens when your bike falls off your bike rack and gets dragged behind your car. Now I know why the instructions said what not to do.
Wait a minute. This is fucking 2 in a row. Paul self-deprecating?
Yes.
Is the old Paul coming back, Tom?
Yes.
And he's also been promoting the new KISS stuff coming out?
Yeah. Wait a minute. What does all this have in common? The election's over.
But it's not just that. Dude.
I don't know.
He's been talking about the KISS concert coming up.
Maybe that's rejuvenated him.
I don't know, but this is good. This is good. Self-deprecating Paul this is new. That's fucking awesome.
Maybe with the live stream coming up next month, maybe he's kind of turning a corner. Maybe he's getting himself fired up again for KISS. I don't know. Who knows? I just thought that was funny. And you bring up a good point.
It is.
And you bring up a good point. It is self-deprecating, dare I say, funny Paul Stanley.
Yeah. The one last thing I want to mention, Tom, before we move on, and that is that photo that he actually uploaded. I've seen it before, the pictures of the 4 guys from KISS without makeup as girls with the gender kind of changing thing. Yeah. I must say this. None of them make good-looking women.
Dude, it is... I don't even know where to go. It's just... First of all, he tweets out the original lineup, The Secret is out. What do you mean, Paul? You're scaring me.
Honestly, Gene looks like Gene from the 80s.
Yeah. The Ace picture looks like a homely high school girl.
Yeah, and
Peter Criss looks like Martha Quinn.
No, a little like Martha Quinn too, and a variation of Joyce DeWitt.
With long hair. And Paul looks, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just crazy.
I'm not sure either on that.
Yeah,
it's a little. What was her name from the 80s? Taylor Dane.
Oh yeah. and Murph, if you're listening, that's Taylor Dane, not Taylor Wayne. She has another job.
Anyway, so Tom, if those girls make you hot, your KISS heroes as women make you hot, where would you go?
Oh God. Well, if you look at these pictures and if you're getting yourself a little hot and bothered there, you got to go to adamandeve.com, because that's the place where you can use our promo code Loudcast and enter that at checkout and get a ton of free gifts, free shipping. You get those spicy movies that everybody loves to talk about. Free gift for you, free gift for her or him, and then an extra gift for the both of you. So tons of free add-ons that you get. It's adamandeve.com and use that promo code Loudcast. We talk about it every week. Holidays are coming up, so don't miss that website and don't miss that promo code.
So, Tom, me and you have already kind of planned out the rest of the episodes for the year. So we got an email or a direct message from actually Neil Davis, who is one of the promoters and founder of the event, KISSmas Masquerade. And we were like, let's squeeze this in. So we will postpone what we was originally planned because we had to talk about this. We were so excited about the event. We had an opportunity to get him on to talk about the event, and also the great Phil Shouse to come on and talk about it as well. And we had our first chance to bring him on our show. So we were excited to do it. I thought the interview went awesome. I think those guys are great. I can't say enough good things. And honestly, I was looking at it as like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm not just going to do it. I'm actually excited and looking forward to this now. So I am pumped about this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so we had been talking about this event for I think a few episodes when I first got the information about, you know, the KISSmas Masquerade event. It's in Florida in the middle of December. We didn't really have too much details, but more details are coming out. And we had heard about it. We had posted some things on social media. And then Neil had reached out. And like Zeus said, we would talk him back and forth. And we're like, all right, let's get you on this week. Let's talk about this and come on, promote the event, do some Q&A, and you can kind of spell out the whole thing. And obviously the great Phil Shouse that plays with Gene's in Ace's band. It was just awesome. This event is just spectacular. And when you hear the episode, when you hear the interview, you'll see all the stuff that's involved here. I mean, you got Eddie Trunk hosting it. You got Bruce Kulick going to be there. It's just going to be awesome. And you can live stream it if you can't make it to Florida. And all the information will be provided throughout this interview. And you could tell the passion that Neil and Phil both have to put on an event like this and how excited they are and the care that they've put into it. It's just something to be excited about as a KISS fan. Yeah.
And so without further ado, here's the interview.
All right. And with us tonight, we welcome a few awesome special guests. We're going to be talking about the spectacular event that's coming in December, the KISSmas Masquerade event. And joining us tonight is one of the co-creators of that event, Mr. Neil Davis, and then the great Phil Shouse, who all you KISS fans know from playing with Gene Simmons and Ace Frehley. So welcome to Shout Out Loudcast, guys. We're thrilled to have you on.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Zeus, you want to take it off with our new special guest?
That's it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Guys, happy to have you guys on. And what we do is we have these questions we start off with the Murph questions. This is Tommy's roommate from college. We're all buddies from college. And so these questions remained with every single guest we've had on. So first question, we'll start and we'll just go Neil to Phil. Favorite KISS member?
Well, I play Gene in KISS tribute band Kiss America, so I'm going to have to go with Gene.
That's the right answer. Now, Phil, you're gonna have to play that. Phil, you're gonna have to play this safe because you play with Gene and Ace. So
this is get me in trouble. So I'm gonna have to go back to before I began my affiliation with those guys personally. I was always an Ace guy.
Okay, fair enough.
From back in, as soon as I discovered the band and loved them, I was always an Ace guy. So I'll stick with that one.
Okay.
I still think Joey Casada is the only one that ever picked Peter. Poor Peter.
I think
it's true.
Poor Peter. All right. Favorite KISS song? I know right now I should fill it out because we know it always changes. So favorite KISS song now?
Mine today, I was just out for a walk earlier and listened to King's and Almost Human into my ears.
Almost Human?
Almost Human.
Perfect.
is your favorite Kiss song?
It is today. I was out. It's a beautiful evening in Florida, and I was just power walking, running to Almost Human. I had a growl on my face. Little old ladies were pulling their kids away from me as I ran by them. It was wonderful.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna have to restrain Tom from jumping up and down. He loves that song. So what is it about that song? Is it the fact that Gene's taking a dump in the beginning? I don't get that song, but that's okay. I want to hear from you.
Well, Neil was also wearing his Kiss America Gene outfit, power walking. So that was another reason why.
Oh, okay, there you go. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, Phil, your turn.
Man, this has been this way for a little while. I think "I Want You" is my favorite.
Okay, that's got a killer solo in it. So the solo itself, right there, sells the song. I might not be a huge fan of the song itself, but it's Kiss, and it's a classic solo.
Yeah, I like all the different feels in it, like the acoustic feel and the great riff, vocals great. Yeah, so it's all around. That might be the best one. Next week could be different, but
exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and our listeners know there's a little bit of a backstory to the "I Want You" song. They'll get a kick out of it, but that's a story I'll tell you guys off when we hang up.
Right.
It's just awful. All right, next one.
Hey, Zeus, one follow-up to that. If you don't care for the Almost Human studio, I'd recommend Google the Gene Simmons solo band. I believe in Australia played that song, and if you don't like the studio album, you will have your fist pump in the air as you listen to those guys play it. Am I right, Phil?
We played that one a lot. That was one of the first ones that we tried to get in there in the set when we went for obscure tunes, and we played that one. Yeah, it was great to play.
Awesome. That's great.
Oh no, it's just the deepest of the deep cuts of Kiss, and I love it that you picked it out. I mean, honestly, I'm just so tired of everyone saying Black Diamond, Love Gun, Detroit Rock City. Like, come on, can't. All right, so next, favorite Kiss album.
Neil, what do you got, buddy? Favorite Kiss album?
Well, it's an easy one for me, and I love them all for different reasons. But if I only had one and could hear one, it would be "Rock and Roll Over."
Okay, that seems to be a very popular pick when we ask our guests this. Phil, what about you, buddy?
Same here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Wow. Not 78, Ace.
Oh, well, I mean, even if we are counting solo albums.
I'm
going to go with "Rock and Roll Over."
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's awesome. All right. Now, I know you've played with those guys, but how many Kiss concerts would you say, if you have to estimate? Neil, how many Kiss concerts have you been to?
Probably 40, starting with Dynasty in '79, and most recently, I was in Laughlin outside of Las Vegas in 2019, about a week before everything got shut down.
Nice.
Wow. Phil?
All right, now this depends on how you count cruises.
Okay.
You count them.
Do you count them as one show, or do you count them as 3 shows? It gets hairy. It's going to be in the neighborhood of 20 for me anyway.
20.
Okay.
Yeah, my first one was Revenge Tour.
Oh, awesome.
And my last one was St. Louis on the end of the road.
Okay. Nice.
With 3 cruises thrown in there too. So 20-ish, give or take a few.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Hey, you guys want to hear a fun fact?
Absolutely. Yes.
The cruise, Phil doesn't even know this. Phil and I talk in some type of way, probably 10 times a day, I imagine. But in the 2018 Kiss cruise, there was 18 you were on it, Phil, right?
That was the 8th year, right?
2000, exactly. Yeah, the 8th one. My wife and I were staying 3 cabins down from Phil and everybody else, and I didn't know them then. And we kept walking out for no real reason. They all seemed to be coming out. They all travel together. It's kind of weird as a pack. So they'd all come out of the room. They'd stand there and wait for each other. And we go by, and I'd say, "Hey, that's Ace's band and stuff." And I will tell you, and they didn't know me. I didn't know them. I just go, "Hey guys, how you doing?" they were genuinely as nice as they could be, as nice as they could be to everybody. And I'm just some dude walking by, one of 2,500 people on the cruise. And I remember thinking to myself right there, what a great guy, great group of guys. I mean, clearly good musicians, but even probably better guys than they are musicians.
Nice.
I've heard that. No, I'll be honest with you. Podcasters, we've made a niche, like we got a little niche group of friends in the podcast world. You've been on a lot of their shows, Phil. They all, to a man, say how awesome you guys are and down to earth. We were just talking about Ed at Click Tea Shop, who loves you guys.
Right.
Sonny and what's his name? Steve at Potter Than Hell. Love you guys.
Yep.
Well, tonight I get to prove them all wrong. You just.
So he's going to be a dick to us. That's all right.
Perfect.
Take it, brother.
You guys.
That's awesome. All right. So here's a good one. And this is the last one. Favorite Kiss memory.
Oh, you guys have a lot of them. So, Neil, what do you got?
1983, Lakeland Civic Center, the Creatures of the Night tour. And the one time my whole working career, I've only called out sick once when I wasn't sick, and that was to go see Creatures of the Night tour at Lakeland. And I remember standing at that point. I walk in, you're 5 rows away from the front of the stage, and seeing Vinnie Vincent standing there, and just the whole band. But seeing Vinnie and Eric, who I hadn't seen before, play, and still have that impression of Vinnie standing right in front of me doing his screeching guitar solo.
Oh, that's all. That is a great story. That's a good memory.
Hey, did you get to hear Paul yell at him? Cut the shit! Fucking end it!
Hurry up with that solo!
Yeah.
Phil, what about you, buddy?
Does it count playing with Gene and Ace, or is it like
absolutely, dude? Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah.
What's better than that?
Let's see. Probably off the top of my head, probably landing in Bolivia and getting off the plane, and there's like 500 fans, like Bolivian fans, South American fans, waiting for us. As soon as we get through customs, they're just sitting right there screaming, Gene, Gene, Gene. That was the first time anybody from KISS had been to Bolivia. I had no idea they hadn't played somewhere. And so that was really special. They'd been there for like 12 hours too. Like we hadn't even left Nashville yet. They were already there queuing up. So that was really, really special.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. I can't believe that. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was surprised to know there was somewhere they hadn't played, and nobody had played there from KISS. So Gene was the first guy to actually set foot in Bolivia.
Nice. That's awesome.
So guys, we've had you on here for a specific reason. We'd love to have you on anyways, but KISS Masquerade. First, please, Neil, want to tell us about it?
Well, sure. KISSmas Masquerade came up fairly quick, and for your listeners that don't know, I'm one of the on the Cruise Fest. And this year was canceled on the KISS cruise as well. And I think everybody would agree it's been a pretty lousy, tough year for everybody. And for everybody's got their own story, but it's been a tough year. And a friend of mine, Brian Bell, who's actually one of the organizers of next year's Cruise Fest with us, sat around and said, it's been a tough year. What can we do to try to end the year on a high note? And, we try to take vacations together. I mentioned we'd gone to Laughlin earlier and seen KISS. And we said, well, we can't go on vacations. We're not. What if we made a vacation? What if we made a vacation? We said, let's just have some type of event. And it started very organic. And I'd reached out to Phil, and they were out doing some different things. He and his bandmates, and we talked about the idea of them coming to Florida to come down. And it first started off literally it was going to be a party in our backyard around our pool. And
I was trying to book some Talismen acoustic shows, and I emailed Neil. I was like, "You got anything down there?" And then Neil took off.
And so we said, let's invite some friends. Let's invite some KISS friends. And then true story, there's a lot of stories in it. I called a guy I met on the KISS cruise who lives in Washington State, Pacific Northwest. And again, I'm in Florida. And because I wanted someone to give me an honest opinion. I said, I'm thinking about trying to do something just organic, a fun KISS event. It's going to be completely different because we live in a different world. And I said, Talismen are going to play. We want to do things and just make it really intimate. And I said, but do you think anybody would care about that? And he said, are you serious about this? And I said, yeah, I am. And he said, because I'm hanging on the phone and I'm telling my wife we're buying tickets to fly to Florida right after this. And I knew the point of that is I knew that what I was feeling, everybody was feeling, is we're starved to do something. We have to do it in the right way. There's the way you do things today is completely different than we did it a year ago. And Phil and I spent a lot of time talking about if we're going to do this, what's not only what's the right way, but what's the wrong way? What do we need to make sure we don't do? And we crafted the event around a strategy of doing it in a fun, healthy, safe way. You'll see no pictures coming out of this of hundreds of people mobbed around the stage. You just can't do that. And we talked a lot of times about how we're going to do that, and we came up with a plan, and we feel really good about it. Streaming is a big part of this event, and it's a new way that we all consume entertainment. I think that, KISS just announced that they're doing it. Not that we needed validation for streaming, but certainly they validated the fact that streaming is a way, at least in today's world, that we're going to consume our entertainment. We feel great because we're putting on an amazing. There'll be a certain amount of people that do experience it live. It's something we've never done before like this, and it's been challenging. It's actually been harder than putting on a much bigger cruise fest because of all these new elements involved as well. But I thrive on it, and I get to work with so many great creative people. Phil, the other people as well. And the really neat thing about this is we're trying things. Not just health things. We're doing things, experimenting things. And I don't want to spoil some surprises. But we're doing things that have never been done before for KISS fans. I think they're going to come off with their mouths dropped open, wide open. And we said, we're going to take some risk and we're going to do things differently. And I think, and Phil and I talk a lot. I think he feels the same way. People are going to look after this and say, "Wow, yes, we can't wait till we get back to an old style concert." But in the interim time, this was an amazing, amazing diversion for us. Yeah,
Neil's real for the people that are going to be there in person. Neil's made sure that the precautions are double downed, triple downed. We're all getting tested
that day.
We're involved and it's getting tested that day. And if you've go to the website KISSmas2020.com, you can see the layout of the viewing area, like the venue room. There's tables and everything sectioned out, and it's just the detail is fantastic, and that's all Neil. Working with Neil is great on things like this because he has an idea, and the next day I get like an itemized list of things and a diagram, and it's great. Everything is the people there. I think it's 75% sold out. Neil,
yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's probably it's rounding third base at this point.
Yeah, the tickets are going fast and have gone fast. But the streaming link hit today. So we're going to start advertising that so folks around the world can watch it too. Because like he said, there's some amazing things that's our first in history. So,
yeah. So Neil, it's funny. I mentioned to you before we started recording. So a couple weeks ago, so when we do our episodes, we always do like a segment. We talk about like what's going on in KISS news, KISS world. And I found out about this because I'm obsessed with those Facebook Live KISS auctions. I can't stop watching them. Mm-hmm. And I found out about it through Phil Elliott, who everybody loves. And Phil is actually going to be at the event. He was the first person that I saw to share it on the Facebook groups. And at that time, there really wasn't too much information. I think he was just kind of throwing out there the date and the location. Mm-hmm. So Zeus and I started talking about it on the KISS news, and then our podcast fans was like, what is this about? What is this about? And now you go to the website, and you guys have so put together just an absolutely spectacular event.
Yeah, it's people. I think everybody knows now the flyers out. We're gonna get to play with Rick Derringer.
Yep.
Which is super exciting for us. John's going to be back. We love playing with him. Eddie's going to be there hosting it now. So it just kept on like getting bigger and bigger and bigger, from an acoustic house party to like this. It's been pretty fun to watch.
I'm sure everybody knows, but in case there's one person that doesn't, Rick Derringer, who's an amazing guitarist, has a career on his own, but he's got a really unique part of the Kiss legacy. In the early '80s, when they were recording the Lick It Up album, the first song, Exciter, the producer just didn't feel like the sound was correct, and they brought Rick in, and Rick played the whole lead guitars for it as well. And
I had no idea. I didn't know that until like, you're kidding me. It's Rick Derringer.
So he's never, he did it. And, back then it's not like today, you can sit in your home and record and send the file. Back then you had to go to a studio and record it all. And he did it and has never played it since then. So he's going to play it for the first time actually with Phil, in his band.
Nice.
But wow. I had dinner with Rick week before last. And I was with a bunch of people because I wanted to ask them all these questions that I had, just want to know the answers to. But he said, so I just couldn't help myself. So I said, so how did it, Rick, how did it come up? He goes, well, Gene called me. And I thought, you know what? That's what every Kiss fan wants to hear. What the words just came right after that and so forth. Yep. I was like, stop. I want to hear it when you tell everybody else, when he called you, what did he say? How did it come out? Was he in the room when you were recording him? What did he say about it? What do you think about the song? So I'm excited about it. I might be putting it on. We're putting it on, but I'm a fan as much as anybody else. So this kind of makes the hair on my neck stand as well.
So let
me just add one last quick thing on that. We always joke on the show, like, hey, everybody, I know we're losing Ace, but we got this the newest, hottest, kick-ass guitarist. His name is Vinnie Vincent. But Rick Derringer just playing the solo on our opening track, which I never understood. Like, what the fuck? Like, Vinnie couldn't have done it, but Kiss and their Ghost guys, that's them. I get it. Now I just hope he'll play the Hulk Hogan theme, and I'll be fucking excited.
What's funny? I was gonna suggest playing that song because that was like my wheelhouse is WWF.
Oh, yes.
I had the wrestling album. And as I'm like 9 years old, probably when it came out or something, and I'm like, Derringer. Of course, I didn't know Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo or anything like that.
Right.
And then I went back later on. I'm like, Rick Derringer. Hey, wait a minute. That's that guy that wrote Real American.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I was just doing that.
So
song.
You had that WWF record, like what they did the video Land of 1,000 Dances?
Absolutely. Grab them cakes, all that stuff, man. I had all that stuff.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's it's me, you, and Joey Casada, the only ones that have that still.
Yeah, I still got it, I think, somewhere. I never got rid of that one.
Wow, that's awesome. So you want to tell us who else will be performing and will be in attendance?
Well, sure. One of the big things we're excited about is when we saw the addition of Bruce Kulick and Todd Kearns.
Oh,
and talk about that a little bit, because it appears that they're going to be are they going to be in Florida, or is their participation going to be streaming? Just kind of tell the listeners about what's going on with Bruce, because everybody's really excited about that.
Yeah. Well, so Bruce is just amazing. He was coming to Cruise Fest this year. I had the pleasure when I went out to Vegas this spring to meet with him, and we were getting together to film a video, and I said, Bruce, just need 15 minutes of your time. And he and his awesome wife Lisa came over, and we hung out for like 4 hours. 30 minutes filming and just shooting the breeze, and just a regular great guy. So when we were talking about this, I'd reached out to him with the idea. It said, this is what we're working on. And he just said, Neil, I'm just not traveling right now. And, as I've always said, is that everybody has the right to approach where we are the way they choose. And there's no right. The right answer is what's right for you. So, I never push anybody and try to twist their arm. So he said, Neil, I'm just not traveling right now. So I said, okay, So I wonder if there's some other ideas. And then we started talking about the idea of an acoustic set. And Todd Kearns is just amazing. Normally as cruisers, we would get to see them every year, and we didn't have that opportunity. And I thought, well, what about, for me, one of the things I like to listen to is whenever I hear Forever off of Live 3, it just is amazing to me. And I thought, What if those two could recreate that? How good would that be? So those two are actually going to be streaming it to us, and then we're streaming it out. So, for the streaming viewers, it'll all be streamed, so it won't make a difference. For the people in person, we've got a giant screen, video screen behind the stage. So we're going to watch that performance, and it's going to be amazing. I mean, they've shared some of the things they're doing and how they're going to approach it. And I'll tell you, Bruce is just great. He cares. I'm going back. I'm going to say everybody involved with this. None of them treat this like it's a job. Like, hey, you hire me, I do my job, and I go home. Everyone has taken a vested interest in it. Bruce, every couple of days, he'll send me a message. Hey, I was thinking about this. What do you think about this? Here's some ideas. And I think that they've always had that concern and care about what they're doing. But right now, I think everybody really appreciates the things we love even more so, and we're taking that much more interest in it. And not that anyone takes it for granted before, but my goodness, right now when we have a chance to do it, it just is so special to everybody, whether you're participating, hearing it, or whether you're performing it. I think on both sides, it's just a wonderful opportunity for everybody.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. Again, we rave about Bruce all the time. Huge fans of him, and that was an exciting addition. And like you said, much respect to Bruce. He's choosing to stay home and he's going to stream it for the fans. You guys are going to accommodate that with your screens. It's just spectacular. What are some other things that people can look forward to? I know I'll let you talk about, but we know that the website has the roster of events that just looks mind blowing.
Well, thank you. But the roster, every event's got a purpose. It was thought out. It wasn't just, hey, let's throw it in here for some reason. It starts off, again, I love the KISS. You've been on the KISS cruise. It always starts with a sail away from typically the port that you're leaving from. And we said, took a lot of themes from that. And we said, let's start this with like a cruise, sailing away, but not from a port. Let's sail away from this awful year. So we're having a sail away from 2020 acoustic show. And, Phil and the guys are doing that. And it's going to be probably somewhat feel like a sail away show, but it's going to be their own style on it, their own fingerprint on it. They're their own musicians. But the idea was the same way. Let's set it up for that. We're having the Hotter Than Hell happy hour beforehand. Let everybody have a chance to have a few drinks, then come over and go into our little pods that we have and watch this amazing sail away show. Then after that, we've got a Led Zeppelin band from Florida that are just amazing. What I liked about them is that, whenever you go to a KISS show, typically the last song you hear before they drop the curtain is a Led Zeppelin song. Correct. And often Paul has played little vignettes of Led Zeppelin before Black Diamond. So clearly there's something about that band that's important to them, important to all of us. So we thought it was fitting as well. And then what we wanted to do was, for that headlining show, was have the Talismen come back and do an electric show. And, kind of again, fun fact, when Phil was coming originally saying, hey, come down to Florida. And I said, he goes, like, we're going to do acoustic. I go, acoustic? I go, boy, we'd really like electric. He goes, well, we can do electric. I go, but I like acoustic. Can you do both? So that's how, it's you see the end website, everything, but you have to kind of understand how things evolved and got there. It's kind of like, oh, I want them to do this as well. Yep. And then John, who is just a delight. If you've ever met him in person, you can't walk away but smiling when you talk to him. And Phil and the guys, we were lucky enough last year for Cruise Fest that they played a set and John played a song with them, and it was magical. And he played with him a few times over the years.
Yeah, he's great. And we've done a couple of expos with him, and he is like Neil said, he is just got the best energy, and he's so fun and easy to work with, and he's great.
Yeah.
We're doing a little mini set with John this year, more than one song, so we're happy about that.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing. I mean, the KISS connections that you've added to this are just amazing. And Phil, I'm looking at the roster as we talk here. Tell us, we'll get back to the music and stuff. I see this thing here called Shouse Rules. What is this? What is this all about?
Well, a few months ago, I decided to join your ranks as a podcaster.
Nice.
I've aired 3 shows so far. I'm very behind on editing, but it's like a video talk show podcast called Shouse Rules. And so Saturday, during the day is my first ever live Shouse Rules, and Jean is my guest.
Nice.
And so that's going to be fun. I'm going to talk about old New York plasmatics, working with Gene with all that stuff. And I'm not going to say what we're doing, but we're doing something, a surprise thing for the Shouse Rules that is so up my alley. And I'm so thrilled to be part of this thing. Awesome. It's going to be a total surprise to everybody, the streaming audience and the folks there. I'm super excited about it. That was all Neil's idea too. And I was like, you're kidding me. You're in my brain. I love this kind of stuff. So that's what that is. It's my first ever live, my foray into live talk show. So
awesome. Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah,
I think you got the personality. You can handle it.
We'll see. It'll be good. I'm really excited to do it. I'm glad that Neil gave me the chance to do one. And Jean's a great guest.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the events here is called the Demon's Lair for photos. So is it the girl that I can take my photo with, or do I need the other shit? Like, because who is this smoke show? Damn.
Well, that's my wife, and she's sitting right next to me, so be careful.
Damn. That is awesome. You're doing talking to us then.
So here's the thought on that is, again, going back, saying we want to try to come up with some things that are different experiences. Yeah. And one thing as KISS fans is we all love memories. We love collecting. Again, going back to the cruise, there was so much angst a few years ago when pictures got taken away with the bands. You know, we love our photos to memorialize these times in our lives. So I've got through my KISS band, it's something called a vanity riser I had made for me, which has Gene's logo embedded in metal in the front. It's got fog machines built under it and LED lights, and it's got a metal grate on it. And I use those while doing my demonic looking. And when I do my shows, you know, I have a lot of people come over and say, hey, can I check out your bass and stuff? So I said, wouldn't it be fun if we set this up and put lights and fog machines, and I brought some of my basses out there, and let people come up and get a picture with on a Gene Simmons stage, you know, with his logo and lights and fog with the Gene Simmons axe as well, you know, as a way to memorialize their participation in the event. So it was an idea, and it was actually, my wife and I are talking about it. She gets more credit about it than I do. And, you know, we just went out actually in our garage a couple weeks ago and snapped those pictures, and they turned out great. And, you know, I try to sword
too, right?
Yeah. I try to promote stuff, and you know, I'll put a picture up of something I'm doing, and after a week I'll have 20 views, and she's got, I think, 10,000 views, and you know,
I told you,
thousands of likes, and I'm getting death threats over it, and
One other thing I wanted to ask you, right above her, is it's just random. Medusa, the wrestler.
Yeah.
What is her KISS connection? I'm curious.
Well, first, she's a huge KISS fan. A couple things. She's a huge KISS fan. She's a great person. She's a personality. You know, last year at Cruise Fest, we had put on an event. Last minute, it was called, Women That Rock, and it was really to celebrate, the women in our lives that really put up with, boneheads like us.
Yeah.
And do the things we still do. We want an event that was really to thank them. And it turned out we ended up having some panelists. We had the women from Thunder Mother that were there. Lydia Chris was there, and Medusa was there as well. And she spoke about being a woman in the entertainment business, as they all did, and the challenges that they've all overcome as well. And she was so articulate and, such a strong personality. It just really made an impact on myself and everybody else was there. And they live in Florida on the other side of the coast. And when this idea came out, they're the ones that said, we would love to come. We would love to come. And I said, no, I'm glad you offered, because it saved me from calling you and to have to ask you.
That's great. Now, one of the other events is going to be KISS America, and backing up to your story, Neil, about, the platform with the axe and everything. Tell the listeners how you're connected to KISS America.
Yeah, so KISS America's band I started, 10 years ago. We're a tribute band based out of Florida and historically perform in the Southeast U.S. And most of the time, our shows, we wear Destroyer, those type of, the more elaborate costumes. 3 years ago at the pre-cruise party, we all wore the hotter than hell, the black leather costumes. Oh, nice. And it was great for KISS fans. You're normal, if you go to an event, people are used to the Love Gun, the Destroyer costumes. Yeah. But the real hardcore KISS fans love those old ones. So we wore them 3 years ago, and we decided for this, again, for the audience we're playing, we said, let's do the early show. Let's take songs off the first 3 albums, and not Deuce and Black Diamonds, great songs, but yeah, you can hear them play, by KISS regularly. Songs you don't hear, whether that, Ladies in Waiting, Lover All I Can, songs like that as well. That nice. Are just great songs. We all love them. So we're gonna select songs off those 3 albums. The precedents are ones that you don't typically hear on their current tours. And then we're going to wear the old hotter than hell outfits, and do the makeup. Back then it was a little bit cruder. Change the makeup around to if you look at some of the older albums, the older looks, so a little bit more crude and fundamental in the designs.
Wow, sweet. Awesome. So one thing that I think it was recently added, and I thought this was pretty huge for you guys. You got Eddie Trunk to host the event,
right?
How did that happen? Is he physically going to be in Florida?
He is. So, and it goes back to what we said was the streaming part of this is really important to us, really important. Yeah. And if you're there in person, we're going to have activities going on the whole day. And in between them, you can walk around and go, look at a vendor. You can talk to somebody. But if you're at home watching it on your laptop, your smart TV, how do we pull all of the elements together to make it feel like a day? So individual pieces, we wanted a host that could really, kind of talk about the events beforehand, introduce them, pull them together, share some history and light and why they're important. And I don't know who's got more experience, knowledge, and visibility discussing KISS than Eddie. And he's a huge figure. He's got strong opinions. Some people like him. Not everybody does, but everybody knows him. And we thought that he'd be a great person. And when you involve with putting on these events, everybody kind of knows somebody that knows somebody. And we reached out to him, and his questions were twofold. This sounds great, and let's talk about the safety part. Same thing everybody did. And they were a little bit first, like almost like felt bad about asking. I said, listen, this is important. We have this conversation with everybody that's participating. It's an important conversation, and you need to know that, like everybody does, we built this event around your safety, my family's safety, and your family's safety as well. And they went through all and said, I'm in. And we're really, really happy about having Eddie there.
That's awesome. I was just going to say the safety part is been said, I don't know how many countless times already. So it's quite obvious that's the number one part of this, safety, and then everything else the fun and everything else comes. So I tip my hat to you guys about doing that. Otherwise, like a character on our show, we call him Pandemic Paul Stanley, will come down, chase you down on his 10-speed bike in his helmet and scream at you guys if you're not fucking safe. Yeah. So you don't want that to happen. Then him and Eddie will get into a brawl. So, but make sure that gets on the live streaming. So I think, I think you guys will see a great time though if you guys go down there in person or if you catch the live stream. It sounds like, and the live stream sounds like something that's up my alley. I'm thinking it's up Tom's alley, and that's where we'll probably go with it. So people that can't make it, the live stream sounds like you're going to make it as though you're there.
Well, there's 150 people that can come to the event in person, and there's 325 million people in the United States alone. So there's a lot more people that we anticipate watching it live stream than in person. So that's why we wanted to bring Eddie in. That's why we're spending so much time on the production of live streaming it as well. And the idea is that it's going to be it's like a pay-per-view quality. This isn't going to be a few people holding up cell phones video taping it. Actually, the company that is doing the filming for us, they're the film company. There's an MTV reality show called Siesta Key. That's where we live. And I haven't seen it. I hope you all haven't either. But it's very popular. I'm told it's the most it's the biggest reality show.
No clue.
Now I'm glad he cut out.
Filming their fourth season of it, and the company is the same company that's filming our KISSmas as well. Is the one that MTV hires to do the reality show.
It's also smart. It's smart too because on the website it is fantastic. It details everything, and you do have a section for safety precautions. So if people are interested, they don't have to worry about unanswered questions. Like Phil, you mentioned when we started talking about how there's like maps and diagrams about the setup, so people's concerns can be addressed. And if they think that is safe enough for them, they can physically attend. So I think that's smart too. And another thing that I see on the website, I keep mentioning the website, it's KISSmas2020.com. That's the website for the event, with we can purchase, streaming tickets, and get all the information. One thing KISS fans love more than anything is buying KISS shit, merchandise. And
cut out the word shit, Tom.
Yeah. Okay. Please. If I was recording this in my basement right now, you'd see KISS shit. Believe me, for 45 years I've been collecting about. So.
I've got the margarita picture. That is KISS shit.
Yeah. So who's going to be? Because who's going to be there? And what other than the live performances? Like Phil's band and Neil, your band and everything. What's going to be going on for people if they're kind of milling about?
Yeah, so you talked about Phil Elliott earlier. He's been helping with the expo, and we've got the most of the expo sellers you see on the Facebook Live expos. Are coming to set up there as well, and they're going to be selling for the people there. And we're working on also having where we're going to have some of the auction items available on for the live streaming people as well. So you can watch the entertainment. We're going to have live music. We're going to have panel discussions. Rick Derringer is going to have Eddie Trump's going to host a panel discussion with Rick where he's going to walk through his time working with KISS, recording the song, how it developed, how it ended, everything in between, what his thoughts are. We're going to have something called Tour Talk. We're going to have Ryan and Keith LaRue and talking about what it's like being on the road with KISS, with Ace Frehley, with Gene Simmons, telling those type of stories as well, answering questions. Wow. And so we're going to have activities like that going through it as well. And so it's certainly music's a big part of it all. By no means is it the only part.
Phil, with you playing with Ace, we know that Gene is busy right now, especially with the announcement of the Dubai, the live stream event. Ace has been in the news for reasons that we'll talk about maybe at another time when you come on our show. Yeah. Has there been any discussion at all about Ace maybe potentially joining this event?
No, none.
Okay.
It was pretty much just affiliated with KISS, not actually members.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Ace is in Jersey also. I'm not sure how he feels about traveling and everything.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because I know KISS fans. I know the KISS fans would ask that question. Live event. You get Ace's, guitarist Phil. Any talk with Ace? It makes sense. He probably doesn't want to travel. But I wanted to ask that just for the listeners to see if they were, any chance that Ace is going to show up. KISS fans love surprises, so. I wanted to see if maybe you never know. All of a sudden, you turn around and hey, what's up, everybody?
I just thought I'd come down and see you guys and see what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anybody that plays with Ace has a pretty damn good impression of Ace.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I tend to do it like this. Hey, Phil, this is Ace Frehley. Where the fuck are you guys playing again?
And you guys mentioned the online auctions, so PJ Ace.
Yes.
PJ. So my PJ impression and my Ace impression are almost the same thing.
those Ace impressions.
So Neil, did you say so? With Phil being there, did you forgive me if you already said this? Is he going to do like an auction? Is he going to have auctions there too, or just going to be selling stuff?
Well, that's what we're working on right now. Next month is that they go to expos and sell things, but they do their Facebook Live auctions, which are really fun. I mean, you feel like you're sitting in their living room, and they're very organic. I like them. So we weren't trying to recreate that because they all do that great. So we're working on the idea of how do we come up with something. I like the idea of almost having a schedule where we might say, okay, Saturday from 9:30 to 10, it's guitar picks and drumsticks. From 10 till 10:30, concert tickets. From 10:30 to 11, it might be dolls. And we're gonna have a separate room set up where we can actually film the stuff and have the ability for people to look at the items and buy them online. And it's a different way of doing it. And again, I think we are trying a lot of new things on this, and I think some are going to go great. Some of them might afterwards we say it didn't work, but I've made the decision that we're going to take some risk on this as far as how we present this whole event.
Yeah. Now I also see you got Enough is Enough.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And
excuse me if I mispronounce, Kurt Frehley.
Yep, Kurt. Yep, he's the guitarist and singer for L.A. Guns. There's a couple different variations from that, and they just put out a new album. And he's a super nice guy, talented musician, and he's going to be doing a performance during the daytime. And he's actually friends. He's recently recorded an album. And Phil, I think some of your bandmates were on it.
Oh yeah, Brett was,
on his band on the album, and I think they're going to have a few people sitting and doing some songs. I think he's going to focus on some of the Alive 2 album, and it's going to be great. And enough's enough. Their Kiss tie. Doc McGee discovered them.
Yep. Oh yeah. No, that's great. And you have another artist. Again, forgive me if I'm pronouncing names incorrectly. Is it Gary Shute or Gary Shutt?
Gary Shutt. So Gary's a Florida guitarist, and in every state and every city there's great musicians, and I know most great, and there's some great ones in Florida. And Gary's one of the ones that is a legend above everybody else. He's just a virtuoso as a guitarist. And his style is very similar to Eddie Van Halen. And unfortunately, we all know the sad story about what's happened there. And I thought it would be appropriate to have a salute to the music that's influenced us all, Eddie Van Halen. And nobody can do Eddie like Eddie can, but there's probably a dozen people across the country that can do it real justice. Phil's one of them, but Phil's busy. So Gary's going to do it, and Gary's got some YouTube videos, and I think he's got a couple 100,000 hits of just him sitting in his home playing little guitars by himself, and he's just that good. Nice. So I'm a big fan of Van Halen. I've got Kiss way up above everything else, but there's a handful of bands right under them, and Van Halen's one of them, Eddie Van Halen in particular. And this was our way to salute somebody that's, I think, very special to all of us.
Awesome. That's perfect.
Now, the last thing I'm looking at from your website, which is, it sounds like you guys kind of put this together rather quickly. The website's very good. It's, it's simple to navigate, which I commend you, because you'd be shocked when you start seeing people's websites about events. You're like, where the fuck is it? But here, so the event itself, it looks like your gold, platinum, and double platinum packages have already sold out.
Yeah, the double platinum sold out in about 4 hours. It was kind of like a Kiss album in the 70s. Platinum sold out in 24 hours, and gold sold out in I think 2 or 3 days.
Wow, so general admission is still available.
Right.
So everyone out there, general admission is still available. Now, somebody like myself, can you make it idiot proof and tell me how I would go and get it to stream, and when does it start, and what do I get?
Yeah. So, what we did, the whole idea was going back to this. It's been a tough year for everybody. Let's put on something that we can all look forward to. Let's put on something that can end the year on a good note. A lot of people have also had been hit financially this year. We want not only a great event, but also we talked about the double platinums and the other ones. Those ticket prices sold out, and we used the money, those higher price tickets, to subsidize the general admission tickets and the streaming videos.
Wow.
80% of the tickets are general admission, and you've got a day and a half, all the bands, everything that you've heard, plus a lot more, and it's $20. $20 for all that. For streaming, you've got for $12, you start Friday night at 5 p.m. and it goes till midnight the next day. And the idea is that there's a real value to it all. Nobody is going under the intention of trying to make money on this. Everyone's trying to play their part of making a great event. Everybody's kicked in a lot of ways. The bands, listen, the bands haven't played. If you talk about people have been impacted, you don't think musicians haven't been, production people have?
Of course.
And they have all said, we want to chip in to make this event happen and help everybody else as well. It's been a collective effort to keep the price down. You go on the website if you want to buy a ticket in person or the live streaming one. We partnered with a company called Meat Hook Live. They're a streaming company with a rich history of putting on these type of events, and they've got a great platform. You sign up, and then it will send you a password, a virtual ticket, knows your IP address. So when it comes time for the event, you can watch it. Now, if you are working, if you're in a different time zone, it will also say you get off work and it started a couple hours earlier or before that, you can go back and watch the beginning of it 2 hours later, just like it was live as well for the next 24 hours. And wow. So if you missed it, a little bit of it, and for whatever reasons, time zones, work, who knows what it is, you can go back and watch the whole thing from the beginning, and just like you were watching it live.
Yeah, I want to stress again how it's not going to be like, hey, y'all, here we are. Here's our tip jar. It's going to be a complete like pay-per-view event. It really is. Yeah. Meat Hook does an outstanding job, and that's why Eddie's going to be there, linking everything together. And it really is going to be really the next best thing, from being there. It really is going to be a actual big. It's going to be a great production and a great presentation. So, and the value is unbeatable.
$12. That's a great deal.
Yeah, it is. It is. And Zeus, I want to, and I shouldn't say this because Phil's going to go, I didn't know that, because this has to do with him. So one of the things that we want to do is, being the people that are in person, it's great. I'll be in the person. I'm so excited to see it. But what do we do for the live streaming people? I want something that they can enjoy that maybe the others couldn't. So what we're going to do, like one of the things most people never get a chance to do is like sing when the band's doing sound check, when they're figuring out songs. And so we're going to actually have the live people have the opportunity to have a camera in there when they're setting up and tuning and saying, you're playing that.
Nice.
That's me.
Let them see the dynamic tone in the guitar and how's it sound and so forth. And as a fan of music and a fan of these guys, it's just great to see the behind the scenes element. We all get to see a polished show. When these guys hit the stage, A+, they're dead on. But there's a curve you got to go up to from the time when you walk in and plug in your instrument to get there. And the live streaming people are going to be able to see that.
Yeah, you're going to be able to see the A+ stage time and the D- sound check.
But that's perfect. That's what people want to see. People are used to seeing the A+. They want to see the D-.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm telling you right now, I know the KISS fans that we talk to and the Shout It Out Loudcasters, the fans and everybody are going to be pumped. This is right in their wheelhouse. Yeah. It's an affordable event. It's exactly the stuff that we bitch that, no offense, KISS doesn't do. These songs, this way, this style, and this is going to be awesome.
And about the songs, about the way it's set up now with all the different groups playing. There's a lot of different groups playing KISS songs, but I made sure Neil was on the same page with me as this. You're not going to hear the same song twice.
No.
So Love Gun is not going to get played by all 20 performers.
By anybody. I don't think Love Gun is played by anybody.
Perfect. Good.
Nothing gets played twice.
We made our set list, and I cross-referenced it with Neil's, made sure those didn't share. So we're not – everything's going to be a different tune. And it's Saturday night, the last thing is the Rock and Roll Over record performed in its entirety. Plus So the whole thing is going to be.
Should have led with that.
Yeah.
So that means people are going to hear. That means people are going to hear Mr. Speed live.
Yeah, exactly.
About time.
Well, even deeper than that, what about like "See You in Your Dreams"? I mean, there's some songs you just never hear, and it was not funny. But when you start off asking about albums, one of the good thing is when you put an event on, there's a lot of work and a lot of kind of weekends, late night, but you get to do what you want to do. And we're fans, and I said, what, if I'm going to put on this event, I love Rock and Roll Over, and Dr. Love gets played a lot, and from time to time, there's been a few tours they've had a couple over, but for such an iconic album, I think it's gotten very little airplay, the rest of it all. Agreed. So I called up Phil, and I was like, "Hey, Phil, you want to do?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Hey, would you mind playing the whole Rock and Roll Over album?" He goes, "That's awesome!" So I said, "Oh, this is going to work. This is going to work."
We already know it. We can do it.
So. Is somebody going to do like the performance like Gene does in Love 'Em, Leave 'Em, jump down and kick his leg out and then do
back and forth like he does in that video?
I have no idea how many times me and Tom, when we were in college, just little punks that put in Kiss Extreme Close-Up and just watch that over and over again. While everyone else is like, dude, put on fucking Pearl Jam. Shut up. We're watching this.
Yeah.
That is iconic that you guys can do it. Any chances that anybody's going to be playing only Peter Criss songs from Kiss? That's my guy. That's my guy. Sorry.
There's 2 on Rock and Roll Over. There's 2.
So you were performing on the first 3 albums. Mainline, if that gets played, you got me sold, man. Now that song kicks ass. Yeah. But this sounds like incredible. I love that you guys just organized it so that not everybody's playing the same song. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this event is just like Zeus said. This is just such a Kiss freak type of event. I mean, we're excited. Like Zeus and I were excited, like learning about it. Like we said, looking on the website and getting the information, the updates, and you guys talking about it here, it's just getting us like even more fired up to take advantage of the live stream. So, I mean, kudos to you. You guys, it's going to be amazing. I'm excited for you guys. I wish we could be there in Florida to see this. But it just sounds like a fantastic event.
Well, we're going to be in your living room. That's don't apologize. We'll be in your living room. It'll be great. So, Tom Zeus, this is really important. I say this is, Brian Bell and I are putting this on, and
it was so important.
As fans. Putting on the event we always wanted this is what we're doing, and we sit around as a fan saying, what do I want as a Kiss fan? Yes. I don't care about the money. All is like, it's our time to be greedy and for us to get what we want, and this is me giving me what I've always wanted, and us giving you guys and all the other Kiss fans what you really want.
So Phil, you play with Gene, okay? You're in Gene's solo band. I got to ask you this because our fans are going to want to. Have you ever had a conversation with him about Kiss's set list?
Yeah, because I know, because when we were with Gene, as you guys know, we threw all kinds of obscure tunes in.
Yeah.
And his thing, and I understand his point is that when they really do, because like at the end of the road tour of the shows I saw, when Paul asked, whose first time is it seeing Kiss? Half the arena raised their hand.
I see what you're saying. Yep.
Everyone. And I do understand the fact that if they do start going into super deep cuts, like even, 100,000 Years was the one that we got this time. If they go deeper, like Let Me Know or, one of those, something like that, they are going to lose most of the crowd. And I mean, even when we were doing shows with Gene, the American shows were, tighter theater, larger club shows.
Yep.
As far as the shows, my point. And still, the diehards that were there, we'd play I Love It Loud. Everybody would lose their mind.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
Those songs still do, command a lot of attention and get a great reaction. And, of course, when we'd launch into Radioactive or something, they'd love it too. But still, when we would launch into those big ones, I Love It Loud in particular, it's a great crowd sing-along. And it killed every night. So
it makes sense. And we've Zeus and I have talked about this ad nauseum on our show. And we understand that when you go to a concert, it might be 50-50 diehards, newer casual fans. So we get that. We understand what Kiss is coming from, but there's always that part of us where it's like, God, can maybe take one song out and throw. We're not asking him to play, Mr. Speed but maybe something maybe second tier. But again, it's the end of the road. They're going to play the top of the hits, and we get that. But it's always something that Kiss fans love to rail against the set list. It's one of their favorite.
guys. I'm just like you guys. I'd love to hear a couple of those, but like you guys, I also understand. Like, well, I get why they're doing it, but yeah, I'd love to hear Ladies Room or something every once in a while. That'd be great.
Yep. No, I agree. So one last question I have that's a little bit off of this. Is there anything that you've ever asked Ace or Gene that you say, oh, we got to play this? And they're like, fuck no, we're not playing that song.
With Gene, he pretty much went for almost everything.
Except?
Except Love 'Em, Leave 'Em.
Really? Why? Say, I'm excited to hear you guys play that.
That was probably the number one tune that we wanted, and then probably Larger Than Life is second.
Wow.
He was the tempo for Larger Than Life was his problem. I was like, oh man, it doesn't matter. Well, it'll be heavy. And I just don't know why he didn't want to do it. But we had the words for him, and we were ready for that one. We had that one ready to go.
Next time.
Yeah. Ace is tougher. With Gene, we spent so much time with Gene. We were with him all the time. It was only the five of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we traveled together. We ate breakfast together. We did everything. So we would have time to talk about tunes and things like that. With Ace, we only see him pretty much on stage.
Really?
So, we pretty much hit PJ with stuff. It's like, okay, Peter, run this at the flagpole. Try to get this song in. And we'll try to whittle them down and okay, we'll go for this one as a group.
That's funny. Did Gene ever go up to you and go, Phil, this is Gene Simmons from KISS. And you, the fans, we're going to play Love 'Em, Leave 'Em tonight. I'm sorry. I have to do the Gene stuff too.
Love it. Yeah.
It sounds like both of those guys, though, you got a big smile on your face when you're talking about them.
Oh, yeah.
And for us as, KISS fanatics that we're doing a podcast, that warms our hearts. Because you got to know him in a level that we as fans would love to have got to know him, but you can still smile when you talk about him, and that's wonderful.
They are both so great to work with and so much fun.
Awesome.
They're as different as two people can possibly be. Ryan puts it the best way ever. Ryan's analogy is the only thing those two guys have in common is they were in the same band together. And that really is it. But working with them both is, talk about just beyond a dream come true. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought this would have happened twice. But they're both
God bless you.
Great, and they're both so cool. And nothing but good memories from and good times from both of those guys.
Hey, can I tell you guys a little Ace Frehley story?
Please do.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
So
Every time he's getting ready to say something important, it cuts out.
I was in the first night, and then it was Ace's
Can you
second
start
night.
that up again?
And,
you kind of cut out a little
Sebastian
bit.
got in there in the morning. He was coming in, and I was taking him. We were taking there.
Yeah, we're there. You got cut out. Do you mind starting it a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So let me tell you guys a little Ace story.
It's like
2019 Cruise Fest. I come off his RV, and I
Hey, I'm gonna fuck up
Can
his
you ask
story.
him?
Every time you go to tell it, it cuts us out. It's like Ace is controlling something.
It's like Ace witchcraft.
Go ahead, Neil. I'm sorry, buddy. Can you tell it again?
It's that button he was pushing in that photo where he doesn't know what he's doing. It's that button.
There. That better?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Neil. You're up, buddy.
Okay, third time's a charm. So quick story. 2019 Cruise Fest. Sebastian Bach pulls up to Miami. His RV pulls in, and we're going to take him. We take him through the back service elevators. So we get in the elevator to go up to his room, and he goes, hey man, he goes, are you going to see Ace today? And I said, yeah, I'm going to go pick him up at the airport in a little bit. And he goes, can you ask him if he'll play a song with me tonight? And I'm going, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm going, oh my God. So, So I go to the airport. I'm with Pat, and I pull up my truck to pick up Ace, and they go in to get Ace, and I come walking out, and it's Ace and Pat and one other guy. So I figured Ace would hop in the back seat and do whatever. He comes over, he hops in the front seat. He goes, "It's Neil, right?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "How you doing?" I go, "Great." He goes, "Let me tell you a joke." And I'm not going to tell you the joke because you might have kids listening to this, but it was funny.
We don't have kids. Please, the dirtier the better.
So he says to me, he goes, "Neil," he goes, "Hey, did you hear?" He goes, "Sebastian wants me to play a song with him tonight." I go, "Oh, I heard that." He goes, "What do you think?" I go, "Ace, I think that'd be fucking awesome." And he goes, "I think I'm going to do it." I'm going, inside, I'm trying to be cool. I'm going, "Yeah." So he goes, "What song do you think I should play?" I go, "I think you got to play Deuce." He goes, "That's what I think." He goes, "Let's do it, Neil." And I'm going, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." So that was completely, just came spur of the moment. And, I'm just sitting there, Ace right next to me, and Pat and the guys in the back seat are just kind of like, we were tuning them out, and he's living with his girlfriend now. He's just dating her. Then he goes, "Hey, let me tell you about this new girlfriend. She's great. Told me all about her. Showed me a picture of her, and then just on and on. And a 15-minute ride. And I said, this is just the nicest guy it could be. He could have sat in the back seat and looked at his phone and just not done a thing at all. He showed up. He was great. He got asked to do something that he never agreed to do. That wasn't what we contracted him to do. And he said, "Let's do it." He goes, "The fans will love it." And I go, this is what it's all about right here. So it kind of made my heart warm. And, Phil gets a chance to live with, work with these guys a lot. But, as fans like us to kind of see them do something like that is just, why I still get inspired to do these type of things.
Awesome. Wow. That's amazing.
That's great. I think that's fucking hilarious that he just jumps in the front. He's so unassuming about that shit and just like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
That's great. Well, listen, guys, we can't thank you enough for spending this time with us. We'd love to have you guys back. Tell us some more Kiss stories. The event, again, KISS Masquerade. The website is
KISSmas2020.com.
Please, everybody out there, please go to the website, purchase either your ticket in person or the very affordable and incredible package, only for $12, which is incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah. Neil, Phil, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Guys, thank you so much. Phil, Neil, we'll have you back. Maybe we'll have you back after, and you can kind of recap some of the stuff that maybe the people who weren't there didn't get to experience and talk about your event. But we want to thank you so much for coming on. Great stories. Good luck with the event. We'll be cheering for you, and we will be talking about it on our show. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Happy holidays. See you.
Thank you.
You too. See you guys.
So, Tom, what'd you think?
I thought it was excellent. It was better and a lot more fun than I had even expected. Like we said, Neil, extremely passionate and unbelievably diligent in putting this thing together and scheduling it. And again, you could see the excitement that Phil had. We got a chance to kind of pick Phil's brain a little bit after we talked about the event, kind of squeeze in some Gene and Ace and Kiss questions because we got to do that. We've also off the recording have talked to Phil separately about getting him on in the future, which will be fantastic. A couple things I wanted to bring up was, we talk about Eddie Trunk on this show. We call him Stuart and all that stuff. We have a lot of fun with his opinions. We're not going to get into that when we're talking to two guys that are promoting a show.
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. It's not the place for it. So when we were talking about Eddie as the host and how they got that, we're not going to jump in with some of that silliness. That there's a time and a place for that. This was not the time nor the place.
Now, mind you, we were talking about fucking Chameleon and Pissing Inferno before the episode started.
Correct.
We're not going to do that about their friend. And God bless him. He's doing this KISS event. So, I hope it comes out great. The thing that really stood out for me on this, Tom, was you hit it first. You said the safety and the planning and the diligence they did, but the cost.
Oh, yeah.
$12 for all this.
Yep. Unbelievable.
The fucking everything from the acoustics. They're playing Rock and Roll Over all the way through.
Yep.
And then Neil's band himself, his tribute band, they're playing songs only from the first 3 albums.
Yep.
They've got, I don't know, I'm not a fan of theirs, but Enough's Enough.
Yep.
A lot of people are fans of theirs. I know you like a couple of their songs. You've got, obviously, Bruce and Todd. That show is going to be insane. And then there's so many other people involved in this show. For $12, I'm in. And I hope the rest of you guys are joining me in this, and then we could all talk about it. And, and that maybe this becomes a tradition. Unfortunately, they couldn't do Cruise Fest, and then this is what they came up with. They could have just left it, but they're like, no, we need to do something. And God bless them. They pulled this out. I don't know how they pulled this out, but they got it, and they put it on the calendar in 2020. So God bless them.
Yeah, and you heard during the interview where all the information can be found, the website, KISSmas2020.com. It just sounds like a spectacular event. And if I can kind of take a little side turn here for a minute for something that just made me laugh. It made Zeus laugh too. But during the interview, when we're talking with Neil about that segment, and Zeus, do you want to tell him about the smoke show?
Oh, yeah. Well, they just heard it. I'm sorry.
No, I know.
He's got a great sense of humor. There's they have like this Gene Simmons, the demon bass. They have the sword that, Gene breathes fire on, and they've got this gorgeous woman posing in it. And I was like, oh, fuck that stuff. Like, I don't want to pose with Gene stuff. I'd love to pose with her. He's like, well, that's my wife. But I'm like, oh, fuck. He laughed it off. Phil was dying laughing. It was nice. And I, obviously I'm like, well, compliments to you. I mean, I wasn't meaning anything insulting by it.
Oh, no.
But those guys have a great sense of humor. Oh, and one other thing was there was unfortunately something going on with Neil's mic, and, Phil was dying laughing like us, because Neil would be like, oh, and I've got the greatest A story. We'd be like leaning him like,
there was one point,
like, can't hear you.
There was one point, it was great. He's like, oh, you guys want to hear a great story? And he'd be like, and then you can hear like Phil like laughing, and we're all like, what the fuck? But it's Skype. Skype's a pain in the ass. You guys know out there, anytime you're streaming like this, the shit gets in the way. But luckily, it didn't interfere with too much. We was just having some fun.
Guys were great.
Oh yeah,
listened. You guys cannot, as Kiss fans, say, it's not worth it. It's not up my dude. Are you shitting me?
Yep.
I'm all over this stuff, and I hope you guys are. And please take a look at it. Make sure you give it a thorough review. And if you do, and if you heard that episode and you hear what's in the program, I definitely think you'll sign up and be like, I'm in on this.
Yeah.
I think it's a great prelude for what will be coming on later on when KISS does their streaming service. But I'm going to stream this event. There are still some general admission tickets available. Everything else got sold out. But the general admission tickets, if you're in the Florida area, are still available. So if you can, see if you can go in to see it live. It'll be fucking tastic.
Yep. Agreed. Great event. You guys heard the interview there. I hope you enjoyed it, and go on that website, check it out. And at a minimum, you can stream this. The
website is what again, Tom?
KISSmas2020.com.
KISSmas2020. The number's 2020.
Yeah, 2020.com.
Yep. And I think you guys will fucking love it. So thank you guys, Neil and Phil, for coming on. We really appreciate it. And that was a lot of fun. Those guys are great guys.
Absolutely. Yep. Good time.
What we usually do after this is we go into questions. You got one for us?
All right. So this is a good one. It might take a couple minutes to answer here. It's a little bit of thought. Uh-oh. This is from Bill Sharp on Facebook. And he says, do you think that Ace, Peter, and Paul should have done what Gene did and re-recorded a previously recorded KISS song on their solo albums, like Gene did with See You in Your Dreams from Rock and Roll Over, and then he put it on a solo album? What song do you think they each could have included on their albums?
Okay, so I'll be glib and I'll say no, they shouldn't have.
Okay.
But I think Gene's solo album had 11 songs, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up, but there was no need. First of all, of all the songs on Rock and Roll Over, you can hear our review of Rock and Roll Over. If you look and find that, you'll on our past episodes when we did it. I think I ranked that last. It's probably my least favorite track on Rock and Roll Over. So I wish he didn't do that. But the fact that he did, I guess I would say, Tom, yes, it was 11 songs, by the way. But the fact that he did, all right. So I will say, let's say they have to do it. Because my glib answer would be no, I don't want them to do it. I'd rather have something new and original. For Peter Criss, I would probably say something like, Jesus, I don't know. Maybe he complained about Baby Driver not coming out the way he wanted it.
That's what I was going to say.
So I would probably say Baby Driver.
Yep.
What about you for Peter Criss?
I was actually going to, that's exactly what I was going to say, because he wasn't happy with the way Baby Driver turned out on Rock and Roll Over. Hear it different. So for me, like, I'm like thinking out loud, Tom, like if he said mainline, I'm like, no, why? I love that version. I don't want a different version of it. It's great as it is. And I love Baby Driver, but maybe a different style of it might work because Peter thought it was better somewhere else, another way. What about Ace? Do you have something off the top of your head? Because I'll think of one too. For Ace, I'm thinking that maybe in 78 with the solo albums, he obviously had that confidence. Maybe then you could finally hear him sing Strange Ways. Because Peter did it on Harder Than Hell because Ace was not comfortable singing. By 78, he was real comfortable singing. So maybe do that.
I would say the biggest song Ace ever wrote in Kiss is Cold Gin.
Yes, I was thinking that too. That was the
first big song written by Ace that Kiss had done. I would love to hear him sing it in what would have been probably his, I don't know if it's his prime singing, because his voice did get a little bit better by Frehley's comment.
Yeah.
But, he was still young and he had maybe, he was growing pains there. But I would say Cold Gin would be mine.
Yep. For Paul, that's tough. And by the way, you mentioned that we did the album review for Rock and Roll Over when we also did the album review for Gene Simmons solo. So you can hear what we think of both of those versions of See You in Your Dreams.
Who?
The Gene Simmons from Kiss. For Paul.
And I'm Ace Frehley.
It's pronounced Frehley, not Freely.
Yeah.
For Paul,
I don't know why people always say my name wrong. I don't know. Paul is hard.
Yeah, because he's got a ton of songs. The first thing that popped into my head, and it's kind of a cop-out, because you always talk about how much you love it, and a version of it exists, but maybe on his solo album he could have done more with it, would be the Bob Kulick demo of Mr. Speed.
You know what? I'm going to come up with something different.
Okay.
I'm going to say I would love for him to do God of Thunder, his version, non-demo.
I legitimately like that version.
I do. It's a different song.
Yes.
It's a different song. I like the demo version, but maybe he could have, put a little more oomph into it.
That's a good call.
But I would probably say God of Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great question. Great question.
I love the question, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good one. I like those.
Tom, where can people find us?
Okay, so our email is shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Please send us your emails, your comments, concerns, show ideas, etc. We love that. And then we're on all the social medias, as you guys all know, that Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the interaction, the feedback. We love it. We're all one big community. And we have our Facebook group, the Shout It Out Loudcasters, which as of this recording just broke 1,000 members. So thank you guys for that. That's amazing. You should all be proud of that, for creating such an awesome group. And it just keeps getting bigger. Our show can be heard on all the major platforms that you're familiar with, Apple, Spotify, etc. We're part of the great Pantheon podcast network that we always talk about every week. Check out all those shows. That network is growing and growing and growing every time we check them out. So they keep adding tons of great shows. And also check out our buddy Ed from Click T Shop, Click with a K. He's our buddy. He designed our awesome show logo, and you can get Shouted Out Loudcast gear on his website, as well as other awesome Kiss-inspired gear. He has some really cool designs based around Phantom of the Park, some early graphics, Wicked Lester, things like that. Really cool stuff. And that's Click T Shop, Click with a K.
Yeah, and you mentioned our podcast host, correct?
Our podcast host, Pantheon. Yep, Pantheon Podcast Network. Absolutely. Yep. Great guys, great network. Tons of great shows. If you love Kiss, there's other rock and metal shows on there. There's folk, pop, rap, everything. Great stuff on that network.
Yeah, and they just added a Shout It Out Loudcast guest on our show. Chris Cisnak and his great Decibel Geek is now on podcast Pantheon Podcast Network. We might have a few more surprises coming up on Pantheon from what I understand, and I'm looking forward to it. I will tell you guys this. Yes, is episode 99. We do have a surprise maybe coming up for episode 100. It will be a fun and great show. So, yeah, fingers crossed, and we'll see how that goes.
Fingers crossed. Everybody cross your fingers, because we're trying to iron this out. And if we can get it to work, none of us will be disappointed. So let's hope that we can make that happen.
Yep. And so episode 100 will be coming up shortly. We have still a bonus album coming up still in December, which will be my pick.
Yeah.
So and Tom already knows what it is, and he's happy about it. And obviously I am. I don't know about Mr. Sonny Pooney, so stay tuned for that. We'll be on a couple more live cast. One will be hosted by, I think, Potter Than Hell, coming up in early December as well. We have a lot of stuff going on. And then there's also, I can keep dropping little hints about season 3 starting in January.
Yep.
Of Shout It Out Loudcast, and you'll see something new. We're adding new wrinkles every year. We're not standing still, people. We're growing, and we think you might like it. So just be aware that something's coming down the pipe. Season 3, Shout It Out Loudcast, starting in January.
As long as you're subscribed to us on your podcast host, whatever you're using, keep an eye on it, because you never know what's going to pop up there. Some things may be unannounced.
Yes. So please continue to follow, subscribe to our podcast. Send us those direct messages online through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Please, the emails are great. shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. And please keep those 5-star child reviews coming. They are fantastic, and we've been getting a lot of them lately, and we're really thankful that you guys are doing that.
Absolutely.
And, I've got one here now, Tom. This one's from Australia.
All right.
This says Kiss meets the smartass of the park.
Oh, I like that. That's beautiful.
5 stars on Apple Podcasts in Australia.
Nice.
Kiss are overrepresented in the podcast world. Some are more thoroughly researched than this one. Thanks, I guess.
I guess that's a backhanded compliment, but I'll take it if you left us 5 stars.
Yeah. At least one has better guests.
Whoa.
And people closer to the band.
So far, so good.
This one has the most laughs and the most passion and the most honesty.
I'll take that over everything else.
Yep. Smith Saint Rocker. Honestly, thank you. We don't need just 5. Well, we want the 5-star reviews, but it doesn't have to be, you guys are the greatest. You've saved me.
Right.
And, all this, all this, something like that. Yeah. You don't have to just only like us, but you were honest about your opinion and you told us exactly why you like us. We appreciate that, and we'll continue with the passion, with the laughs, and the honesty about our feelings about, the hottest band in the land, Kiss.
Yeah,
So,
thank you guys so much, because we know everybody's busy, but taking the time to log on and write a review and comment, we appreciate it so much. Thank you so much.
absolutely. And what we usually end our show with is famous last words. Tom, do you have any for us?
In honor of the late, great Eric Carr on his anniversary, I'm going to read something from the only song he was given vocals to. Well, you don't believe in the books and rules because you just believe in what you know is cool. Well, they tell you that the world is rough, but they never rocked it hard enough. Rest in peace, Eric Carr.
I love that part.
Yep.
Never rocked it hard enough. Great.
Yep.
Love it. Well, the night's begun, and you want some fun. Do you think you're going to find it? You got to treat yourself. Like, number one, do you need to be reminded?
Beautiful. Excellent.
Listen, I want to thank Neil. I want to thank Phil. I want to thank all the Shout It Out Loudcasters out there. Thank my partner, Tom. I want to thank all our fucking guests. I want to thank the KISS Army out there. We love you. Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much, especially for Neil and Phil for coming on and having a great time talking about a great event. We hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving and you enjoyed yourself with your family or whoever, and you were safe and happy. And we just can't thank you enough for the continued support and involvement. And we thank you guys every minute of every day for it. And stay tuned. The holiday season is coming and we got some fun stuff for you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.